Next, practical problem 38. Let f of x belongs to zp of x means z of x over modulo p. Then prove that f of b equals to 0. Then f of b to the power of p equals to 0. See here, one polynomial equation is given under modulo p. Then we need to show that f of b power p is also equal to 0. For that, take any p is a prime number and zp where it contains the number of elements 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on up to p minus 1 elements, which is obviously a ring, so that zp of x is a polynomial ring. That already we know that. And define a function f of x. What is f of x? It is a polynomial in terms of x means a0 plus a1x plus and so on up to anx power n, which is also belongs to zp of x. Now we are defining a function. Now we have to take what is given, f of b equal to 0 is given, so we have to consider this one. So f of b equals to 0 means what is f of b in terms of f of x means we have to take a polynomial in terms of x. Here b is given means we are taking a polynomial in terms of b, that is a0 plus a1 b plus and so on up to a and b power n, which is equals to 0. Also 0 can be written in terms of b polynomial. How we can write 0 plus 0 plus b plus 0 b square. So this 0 can be written as a polynomial. Now equating all the coefficients. What are the constants here? A0 is the constant, here constant is 0. That's why A0 equals to 0. Compare all the terms, that is b term, b square terms and so on. Like b coefficient is here a1, here b coefficient is 0. Like that A0 equals to 0, a1 equals 0 and all the coefficients of b, b square and so on up to bn are zeros. That is what a0, a1, a2 all the values are 0. Now take it as it is. Now what we need to prove is f of b power p is 0. For that we are taking a polynomial in terms of b power p, that is what a0 plus a1 b power p, like that. So instead of x here b power p is there, so instead of x we are keeping b power p here. Now already we got a0 to an value, so substitute all the values in this, then what will get? 0. So f of b power p is obviously 0. So we are taking f of b equals to 0 and we have proved what? F of b power b is equal to 0. So next theorem, if D is an integral domain, then prove that D of x is an integral domain. Means we are taking a set integral domain D. Now we have to show that that polynomial ring is also an integral domain. So it is obviously a polynomial ring. So first of all we are discussing about integral domain. What is an D is an integral domain? Means it is a commutative ring with unity without zero divisors, that is given. What we need to prove? D of x, that is polynomial ring, is also an integral domain. So we are writing a definition here. D is an integral domain means D is a commutative ring with unity and without zero divisors. And we already know that D of x is a ring. Already we discussed in the previous problems. That is what? Polynomial ring. It is obviously a polynomial ring. So already we proved that ring. So it is enough to prove it is a commutative with unity and it has no zero divisors. In the yesterday's topic, we discussed d of x polynomial is a ring. So what we need to prove? It is a commutative with unity and without zero divisors. For that, to prove commutative, define a function f of x, which is a polynomial. We are also can be written in the form of summation, that is summation ai x power I. The same way g of x also we can define as a polynomial. Also we can write as a summation, which are two polynomials. Now what we need to show? Commutative means f of x into g of x must be equal to g of x into f of x. For that, take in summation f of x into g of x means we can write ai into bi, and xi into x power I into x power j means x power I plus j, which is nothing but we are taken some n, where n equals to, okay, see here x power I into x power j is nothing but x power I plus j. We are taking as some n where n equals to I plus j. So instead of I plus j we are taking here n. And now see here ai into bj, where these two elements are from D, and already given that D is an integral domain means it is also a commutative. That's why ai into bj can be written as bj into ai. Now we can split as summation bj into summation ai. It is nothing but g of x into f of x. So we have proved the condition for commutative under multiplication for d of x. Now to prove d of x has unity, whereas in actual ring what we are taking, one is the unity, that is one is the identity element under multiplication, whereas in the polynomial that one can be written in terms of polynomial as 1 plus 0x plus 0x square and so on. When you are simplifying this, we got again 1 only, that is the identity element. Here we are saying that identity polynomial. So we are taking one identity polynomial which is where only constant is 1, remaining all are zeros. That is only b0 is 1 and remaining all bj's are zeros. Now f of x into this identity polynomial, it is nothing but what, ai into bj, where this value is equals to what, 1, which is again what is that, f of x function. So f of x into I of x is equals to f of x, means this is the identity polynomial under multiplication. So we proved that it is a commutative with unity. So only we need to prove it has no zero divisors. So what we need to prove, d of x has no zero divisors. What is the definition for zero divisors? A equals to b, a into b equals to 0, but a not equals to 0, b not equals to 0. That is the definition for zero divisors. But what is no zero divisors in the sense, if the product of any two numbers are 0, then either any one of them must be 0. Or we can say a not equals to 0, b not equals 0, means obviously ab not equals to 0. This is the definition for what, no zero divisors, that we need to prove now. For that, take again two polynomials f of x and g of x in polynomial ring. Now take two elements are not equals to 0. So take any two numbers which are in integral. D is already given that it is an integral domain, means it is also having no zero divisors. So by the definition what we can say, for any non-zero elements, then that product must not be 0 by using the integral domain definition for D. In the same way, we are taking in the polynomial an into bm, which is not equals 0 for a not equals 0 and b not equals 0. By definition what we say that this is not equals to 0, in the sense f of x into g of x is also not equals to 0 for f of x not equals to 0 and g of x not equal to 0. This is the definition for what, no zero divisors. So by the definition what we can say, d of x has no zero divisors. So what we proved, d of x is a commutative ring with unity and it has no zero divisors. So by definition what we can prove, what we have proved, d of x is an integral domain. Okay, see the next one. It is very interesting problem. Let us see. Test divisibility of 9. Suppose when a number is divisible by 9, then if and only if that addition of that numbers all divisible by 9, then we can say that total number is divisible by 9. Say this is not the multiplication, this is what ak minus 1, when we are ak minus 1 and so on up to a naught. We are taking a number like decimal representation like this. This number is divisible by 9. When it is divisible by 9 means, if we are taking the addition of all that numbers, suppose that is divisible by 9, then we can say this total number is divisible by 9. That we need to prove. It is already we have in small classes like 5th 6th classes, it is divisibility rule by 9. So we have to prove this one. For that, take any number integer is the decimal representation of like this. So like this means, before going to this proof, we are discussing one example. See one example. Some number I am taking here, it is divisible by 9 if and only that number's addition, which is nothing but suppose 36, is it divisible by 9? Yes. So this total addition is divisible by 9, then we can say this total number is divisible by 9. So like this we have to prove this problem. See here, we are taking a decimal representation for this. That means suppose I am taking this as some a0, a1, a2, a3, like this we are taking one number as a5, a4, a3, which is representing in the question. Like this we are taking the representation. This is not multiplication, just we are taking a number representation here. Now what we can write this one, it is in the ones place, that's why we are taking as 1 into 5. Then second number is in the 10th place, that is what, 10 into 9. Like this we are writing 100 into 100th place number, like this we are writing. So what we can write this one, 10 power 0 into 1's place number, again 10 power 1 into 10's place number, 10 power 2 into 100 place number, like this we are writing here. Same as this one, we are taking one number decimal representation as like this, a0, a1, like this, it is 1's place, 10's place, like this one number we are taking. So this number n we can representing as what, a0 into 10 power 0, that is a0, and what is the 10th place number, that is a1 into 10 power 1. Next, like this we are taking like this. Now we are defining a homomorphism some alpha from integer number set to z9 under modulo 9 we are taking here, where alpha x, which is defined as alpha of some x which is belongs to z, then that image value will be y under modulo 9 we are taking. That means what, when you are taking any number, suppose 10, then we are taking modulo 9 means the answer will be 1, because 9 ones are 9 and 10 minus 9 is 1. So like this we are taking. So alpha of 10 will be what? 1. Similarly alpha of 9 is 0 now, because remainder is 0. Then alpha of 10 is 1. Alpha of 11 is again 2. Like this we are taking. Again alpha of 18 is 0. Alpha of 19 is 1. Like that we are defining what? Alpha such that z to z9 as alpha of 10 equals to 1. Now n is divisible by 9. When it is divisible by 9 means alpha of n must be what? 0. That is alpha of 9, alpha of 18, alpha of 27, that is 0 now. In that case only we can say it is divisible by 9. Let us see. Alpha of n we are taking, that is what? Alpha of n. N is what? We are representing like this now, a naught plus a1 into 10 power 1, like this we are defining. What we are taking? We are defining a homomorphism for alpha. What is the definition for homomorphism? Alpha of a plus b equals to alpha of a plus alpha of b. In the same way, alpha of a into b equals to alpha of a into alpha of b. Now we are splitting by using the homomorphism definition, that is alpha of ak into alpha of 10 power k plus alpha of ak minus 1 into alpha of ak minus 1. Like this we are defining up to last term, which is equals to 0. Now alpha of 10 is 1 means alpha of 10 power 2 is also 1 obviously. Alpha of 10 power 3 is also 1. Like this for all values we are substituting 1 here. Alpha of 10 power k, k minus 1 and so on up to alpha of 10 whose values are 1 substituting here. Then we can get what? Alpha of ak plus alpha of a k minus 1 and so on up to alpha of a1 plus alpha of a0. Again alpha of a plus alpha of b is nothing but alpha of a plus b, that is what? Alpha of ak plus ak plus 1 and so on up to a1 plus a0, which is nothing but what? So alpha of any number which is equals to 0, in the sense what we can say, alpha of n equals to 0 means alpha of n equals to 0 means n is divisible by 9. So alpha of this number is equals to 0 means it is divisible by 9. So any number which is divisible by 9 means that addition should be divisible by 9, then only we can say that total number is divisible by 9.